Alright guys, I'm going to try and make this video as quick as possible. Welcome back to the channel. I've been sick for the past couple days, so I was actually going to film like 2-3 days ago, and that didn't happen. I ended up taking 2 days off of work, which is not great because that's really going to affect the paycheck. And then I got a horsefly coming in here wanting to irritate me. But anyway, so I went to the doctor today. They ran some tests. Everything's come back fine. I don't have COVID, even though I've lost most of my sense of smell, or all my sense of smell, and most of my taste. The only thing I can taste really is salt and maybe a little bit of, sweet things. It depends on what it is. So like cherries, I can taste it. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with a fruit called rambutans, but I could taste those as well. I ended up getting a steroid shot and an antibiotic shot, one in each hip, and it actually didn't hurt, believe it or not. Anyway, so I've had a couple of issues with this truck. The number 8 injector harness keeps getting loose, and I don't understand what it is I need to do. I probably need to replace the plug on the injector side rather than the harness side, but that's very involved. So I ended up taking a zip tie and just zip tying the harness side to where it makes good contact, but I know over time the heat is going to break that zip tie and I'll just be back to square one. Anyway, I had a heck of an issue last week with this truck. The serpentine belt fell off due to pulley. And I'll show you guys exactly which pulley it was because it's brand new and I ended up replacing it last week. I actually replaced it while I was getting sick. I just didn't film it because it didn't really seem, spectacular, I guess you could say. But it was that idler pulley right there, the shiny black smooth one right there. So that one fell off when I was on my way back home. And then on top of that, this is a brand new serpentine belt, if you can't tell. It is brand spanking new. The serpentine belt never fell off. It didn't get shredded or anything. It was sitting, so this was still wrapped around here, but this part was laid off to the side. And so after I got the new pulley, put it on, and by the way, there is a spacer that goes on the back of that pulley. If you don't use that spacer, it'll be that pulley will be pushed right up against here. The reason that is shiny is because the old pulley, when it gave way, it slapped up against it a couple of times. Anyway, so once I changed that pulley and I went to put the original serpentine belt back on, you'll never believe it, I should have filmed it, but I spent 7 hours, you heard that correct, 7 hours trying to put the serpentine belt back on, when it shouldn't take you any more than 20, maybe 30 minutes at the most, and that's if you're taking your sweet time. As you can tell, alternator's new. Why is the alternator new? Because part of trying to put the serpentine belt back on, I tried loosening up the alternator, putting the belt on after I had it all routed up, and then I took, I can't remember what it was I stuck down in there, but I had used it and I was pushing it. I think it was like a big screwdriver. No, it was a big ratchet. Stuck one down back here and one over here, and as I was lifting it up, I ended up breaking it. I still have the alternator. let's take a look at what that alternator looks like. The alternator's still good, by the way. But I didn't trust it because I don't want to be going down the road and, because of the structural integrity of it is now compromised, have it break while I'm going down the road. There it is. So that's how I ended up breaking it, and that's cast aluminum if I'm not mistaken. So there is no fixing that. But yeah, I mean the nut will fit on top, or not the nut, the bolt. The shoulder of the bolt will fit right here, but you've got this whole backside where there's nothing to support it. So I don't want to be, going down the road and all of a sudden this whole thing just decides to break. Just a chance I'm not willing to take. And an alternator breaking under the hood can cause a lot more damage than a pulley. But like I said, the alternator's still good. It's just that the casing, if you could replace the casing, which it looks like you kind of could if you knew what you were doing, which I'm not going to lie, I don't know what I'm doing. But you've got 3 bolts here, you've got this thing here, which it looks like if you take this nut off here, this will come off. Nope, it's back there with that. But I guess you would have to lift this up and then come in here. There's a plug right here. I guess you could take that plug out and somehow get that out. But there's somehow you'd be able to get these pieces apart. And I also know the pulley has to come off. I've seen someone take the housing or the casing apart before, back when I was a little kid. But, I mean, I'm 39. I'll be 40 in 6 months. So, I mean, that was a long time ago. And, things aren't made now the way they were then. But anyway, yeah, like I said, that alternator's still good. It's just I don't trust it. I mean, I'm not sticking that under the hood of my truck, especially when I got a brand new one. You guys will never guess. I got it off eBay. Hell of a deal. What was it? $85. So it was $90 originally, and the seller gave me $5 off, so it was $85, and it came with lifetime warranty. So as long as that seller or company is around 10 years from now, I'm still good. I could go ahead, reach out to them and say, hey, I need another alternator. I know the complete front end of my 7.3 is Detroit Axle parts, and every single part you get from them has a 10-year warranty. So that's why I go with Detroit Axle for my suspension parts. But back to the 6.0. So I did end up pulling the fender well, or splash guard. That fender is seen its better days. No, I did not put it back correctly, but it's not going anywhere. And I do like the way it looks without that silver crap going across there. Now, I do plan on getting the flare side, whatever you want to call it. You put them on here and they kind of stick out. I haven't done this side yet. Like I said, I had a steroid shot and an antibiotic shot, and I have been cramping up something awful today, and my heart rate has been up. But the doctor said that my heart rate could go up. But I'm also walking around in this heat, and I'm sweating like a pig. So there's also that. The sun is beating directly down on me, and when I looked at the temperature, I think it said that the real feel was like 95, 96. So, have that beating directly down onto you, and it's no fun. But earlier I was over here doing the job, and the sun was just about over my head. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was like 100 real feel. And it was brutal. I almost passed out a couple of times. I had to go inside. One time I went inside, I didn't even make it to a seat. I just collapsed right there on the floor. You know, I don't know what's wrong with me. I do know I'm getting better. 3 days ago? Yeah, 3 days ago I had to call in work because when I was coming out to start up my truck, and it wasn't this one, it was actually that one. But I came out here to start up my truck, and I mean, I had an elevated heart rate and I was lightheaded. I was like, yeah, I can't go to work like that. You know, I can't get behind the wheel. You know, because what if I passed out being lightheaded, went off the road? You know, if I go off the road, I can't say whatever because I'm not single anymore. You know, I'm a married man. I've got 2 kids and 1 on the way. By the way, I just found out today I'm having another daughter. So I'm going to have 2 daughters and 1 son. But anyway, you know, I can't just throw caution to the wind anymore, you know, and make stupid choices. I have to make calculated choices because whatever I do doesn't just affect me, it also affects my family. So, you know, unfortunately, financially, you know, it's gonna affect me. You know, I had to go into my savings, you know, just to put fuel in here. So I can get back and forth to work next week because the 7.3 behind me, it needs a water pump. So each time I drive that truck, I run the risk of the inner bearing deciding to completely go bye-bye, and it could get lodged inside the engine. And I really don't feel like having taking the 7.3 out of there just to try and salvage that if possible, because it could cause damage. So, you know, right now the only thing I have going on with this truck, mechanical-wise, is number 3. I mean, there's the harness for number 8, which is at the very back on this side. You know, it likes to come loose, but there's nothing wrong with the injector. It's just the harness. So I've got it zip tied to where it's making contact. We're good. So really, the only issue I have right now is the number 3 cylinder contribution. So, I mean, really nothing's changed for the most part, except, like I said, I did change all of the glow plugs and the glow plug harness for the passenger side. This is what I ordered off eBay. And you do need to be careful because, you know, you can end up with, what they call it, counterfeits. But I did compare these with, the glow plugs that I pulled out of here, and the glow plugs that came out of here were, originals. It had the old part number on it. These are the new part numbers, ZD-13. Those are the new ones. But, yeah, the same part number on this was pretty much etched on the other one. It was just a few different numbers. But you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's for the driver's side. And then the injector. And be careful taking the old one off. This part right here and right here had separated, and then there's a wire. So what I ended up doing, I know a lot of people will take a wire or something like that, and they'll loop it around and then pull on it. I didn't do that. I just took my, actually here they are right here. I didn't put them up yet. So I took my 45s, grabbed hold of that wire. Actually, I did it like this. So I grabbed hold of the wire and I pulled and went back, pulled, went back, and I just kept doing that back and forth. And eventually it just popped loose. And I did all 4 of them that way. That way I didn't have to worry about it getting stuck down in that hole. And the glow plugs are a size 10 millimeter, You will want to use a deep socket, and I ended up just finagling my arm up in there. Once I broke it loose with the ratchet, I just stuck my arm up in there and I just started turning it like that. Just simply turning it. And ended up getting them loose, and then I took a magnet and lifted them out of there. So it was really simple, really easy. And then, I reversed it, just dropped them down in there. Once I pulled the old ones out, stuck the new ones down in there, put the 10 millimeter deep well back down in there, and then I twisted it by hand, got it started by hand, all 4 of them, and then I put the ratchet on it and then just tightened it down to where it's snug. You don't have to go Hercules on it. So you just tighten it down to where they're snug and they're not going to come loose anymore. And then you put the harness on it and you're good to go. You just plug everything back in, put the splash guard back in. I am getting a new splash guard and a new fender on that side at least. I don't know what this side looks like, the driver's side, but the passenger side is horrible. So I am going to replace that. I wanted to show you the main purpose of this video, which again I was wanting to be short, but I wanted to show you guys, so that's not what I wanted to do. Health report. Alright, so I got 4 fault codes, and as you can see, there's cylinder 3 contribution balance fault, and then you've got cylinder 4 and 6. Those are both even numbers, so that's on the driver's side. But I did have, let's see here, it was cylinder 1, not 2, not 3, 7. Let's see, it was 3 on one side, and there's 2 on this side. So I think it was 1, 3, 5, and 7. That was it. 1, 3, 5, and 7. And if you go back and look at some of my earlier videos, you'll actually see what all was on there. But as you can see, it's just these 4. And it's because I keep clearing the code. So if I do that, it's just going to come up as 1. Okay, now if I turn the truck off, turn it back on, clear the code, then it's going to show, okay, maybe not. Go out, come back in, there we go. And now it shows the glow plug number 4 and number 6 having issues. So I'll do the other side probably tomorrow, but I'm not really in a big hurry. But I would like to get them squared away. That way I'll only have 2 codes essentially. I'll have, until the all the system wakes back up, you're always going to have this P1000, and that's on any vehicle. It just means you reset the battery or reset the check engine light. But yeah, I'll only have 1 or 2 codes, which is that one if I reset it, or the cylinder 3 contribution balance. That'll be the only code I have until I get my new injectors. I'm not getting the new injector until I get the dummy plug and standpipe, because I don't know if they're the updated ones that are under the valve cover. I don't want to go through all that work and then realize, oh, I've got the old one. It needs to be updated. So now I got to wait another week. I've got to move my truck off to the side and drive this one behind me, again, running the risk. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just get the standpipe first, dummy plug and standpipe first, and then once it gets here, then order my injector. Now, if I were single, I'd be able to order both of them at the same time, but it's different when you have a wife and 2 kids to take care of, plus you've got 3 dogs and a household. So, and then, of course, me missing those 2 days, and I also missed a day last week because I went to the doctor's appointment. My wife wants me to be involved in it, because I was involved in both our son and daughter the whole time. So, why should it be any different with this one that's on the way, our second daughter that's coming. So, it makes sense. She wants me to be with her every step of the way. I mean, I was partially, I partially helped the baby get here, so I should be there for her every step of the way. I try to keep this vehicle fueled up. That way, she doesn't have to drive her vehicle to the appointments. I drive us to the appointments. That way, she can relax. I just try to do the best I possibly can. But anyway, guys, more updates coming. I haven't really done anything with my motorcycle, so don't expect anything on the second channel anytime soon. It's too hot for me to be out there, plus I'd be in the direct sun pretty much all day. Sun comes up over here, and then by, 11, 12 o'clock, sun's right there, and then it's just beaming down over there until it's dark. So it'll be a while before I get over there and do anything with my motorcycle, but when I do, that'll be on that channel. So I'll probably let you guys know for those that are interested. But as of right now, it's kind of at a standstill. Me getting sick kind of threw a monkey wrench in my plans, I guess you could say, because my paycheck is going to be less than half. Because last week, or I keep saying last week. What's today? Is today? Let me see here. Let me get out of this. That's what I love. Oh, this is a new watch, by the way. So today is Friday. So this week was my 4-day work week. I missed 2 days this week, so that's half of that paycheck. And then Friday, I took off last Friday. So part of those hours are jumped over to this week's paycheck. So I get less than half a paycheck. So that's going to be pretty brutal. So I'm going to be trying to just basically survive until I get my full paycheck again. So it probably let's see here. It is the 13th. So yeah, it probably won't be until the tail end of this month or the beginning of next month. So July, that I start saving up money to get the injectors for this truck. And I keep saying injectors, I mean just one, number 3. But I know the 4th is coming along. And both my son and daughter, my daughter's way too young to remember her 4th of July because she was only a couple months old. And this is going to be my son's 3rd 4th of July. So even though he's 2, this is going to be his 3rd 4th of July. He's almost 3. But I'm actually planning on getting fireworks to do here as well. Not just go into town and watch them do the fireworks, but I want to do our own fireworks here. And I'd like to buy some extravagant fireworks. So we'll see how that all turns out. But anyway, guys, more to come. Just going to take me a little while. Thanks for watching. Later, Gators.